Hey everyone, it's Kate. I'm here at Shine Yoga in Cincinnati. Before we get started, just to remind you, you can find more about the work that we do here at Shine at our website, www.shineyoga.com. Today, we're going to move through a short, progressive sun salutation practice. So we're going to start off nice and gentle, and each sun salutation will progress in challenge. And as you go along, you can keep amping it up, or feel free to keep it more chill, more relaxed and gentle. Having said that, this certainly can act like a guide. So if you know the progressions and you just have a little bit of time today, you can jump right into the more challenging versions if you like. All right, we're gonna begin standing. So go ahead, come on up. Just remind you to always make sure that you feel good. Make sure that your breath is nice and calm and relaxed. And if it gets very short and shallow, just take a moment. That lets you know that you're on your agitated edge. And yoga really is to help us keep a balanced state, whether we're working more therapeutically or more athletically. Though you really want to feel like we're centered and in good rhythm and balance. And make sure that you don't have any joint pain, so feel free to make adjustments so you feel good throughout the practice. All right, give your feet a peek, best if you are sockless and shoeless, and then lift up your toes and spread them out. And then make sure that the second toe is the toe that's pointing straight forward. So if you started off with a little out toe, which is pretty common, just bring your toes more forward. That'll help you open your lower back. And then let your toes relax back down if they're still lifted. Take a breath in, reach your arms up overhead. Turn your palms out, press super wide. Let it be just kind of a nice organic inhale. And then really stretch on the way out. That'll help you open your heart center, your chest, your shoulders. A couple times like that, breathing in, reaching up, and breathing out, pressing out and down. And more than anything, we want to start to find rhythm of breath and movement working together. That is one of the things that ties your body and mind together when they're unison with the breath. All right, the next time your arms come down, keep them down, give your shoulders a good roll, and move your head, neck, however feels best for you. All right, I'm gonna turn catty corners, makes it a little bit easier for you to observe as we move together. So inhaling, reaching your arms up overhead. With your exhale, we're gonna come to skier's pose or supported squat, bandhasana, lots of names for a lot of these poses. And let this pose give you the opportunity to stretch your sitting bones back. Try to get a little tip forward of the top of your pelvis. That sets your lumbar spine in its optimal, gentle concave curve. Inhale, stretch your heart and your head forward. And then from your hips, hinge, fold, try to keep your spine long. Keep your knees bent initially, and then as long as it feels good, let your head hang down, shake it out, reconnect to your breath. We're gonna come to hands and knees, all fours, and then knee plank position. So even if you're really strong, I encourage you to do knee plank position at least a few times to really make sure that you're actually engaging your core fully in a balanced way, and then to really work your arm position. So a lot of times we cheat yoga push-ups by taking the elbows out. They should go straight back next to the sides of your body as you lower down. Slide your elbows forward, stretch your heart forward, Sphinx pose. Take a breath, feel into your lower back. Make sure it's not excessively archy, and if it is, just give yourself a little low belly tone. That'll help you strengthen your core as well as keep your back nice and healthy. Slide your hands back to where your elbows were. And now you're in a mini baby cobra. Squeeze the elbows in tight, curl your shoulders back, keep your belly strong. See if you can push up where your hips, ribs, and head all lift at the same time. And then back to child's pose or puppy pose. So child's pose seems like an easy pose, but it can be hard on knees, hips, low back. So your choice, child's or puppy. I actually prefer puppy. And then we're finding our way to downward facing dog. But again, you can always just do puppy or child's pose if you prefer. Pedal your legs out here, take a couple breaths. Feel into your body.
Let yourself be very aware of all the subtle sensations. So as you move, you can take really great care of yourself. And then press both heels back. Don't worry that they don't touch the ground. That's not important. What's more important is your back is more straight and less rounded. We don't want the lower back to be too rounded. So have a nice length between hands and feet, and try to have that little concave curve in your lower back. Now walk your feet to your hands, and just nice and easy, come up standing tall, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Close your eyes, connect to your breath. Give yourself this moment to practice feeling centered in your body, where you're really fully present in the moment, that your mind's not rushing forward, it's not ruminating on the past, that you have this moment to be steady and clear. With your exhale, release your hands down, open your eyes, inhale, reach your arms up. We're gonna waterfall down. So your ankles, your knees, your hips all bend, your spine is long, and you pour your heart head forward, head relaxes down. Knees can still be bent and can be every single sun salutation. There's no need for you to have your legs all the way straight. Step back to downward facing dog, but you have that puppy choice if you prefer. Plank. We're gonna hold this one for a moment. And again, we wanna make sure that we're not dipping the hips down. And then when we lower, we wanna make sure the shoulders stay back. So just for one more time, for sake of really great form, I'm gonna come to the knees. Elbows bend straight back, belly, heart, head are in line. Point your toes, stretch your heart forward. Curl your shoulders back and make sure you're not jamming in your lower back. And if you are, hug your belly in and stretch your heart forward. And just be in the cobra a little more gently. And then see if you can do a straight body push-up again. Elbows back on the knees to really work your core in that balanced way. No sagging hips, no dipping shoulders. Child's pose, puppy pose, downward facing dog. As you're ready, step your feet to your hands. And inhale, come standing tall, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart. Close your eyes. We practice little moments of meditation all throughout the flow. So we're moving back and forth between activity and reflectivity. Just taking a moment to pause, to breathe, to center, to clear. Exhale, release your hands down. Breathe and reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, waterfall down. Step back, downward facing dog or puppy. Find your way to plank, either on your knees or this time your feet, and hug your belly in super tight. Keep your shoulders back, bend your elbows straight back, slow, lower all the way to your belly. Point your toes, stretch your heart forward, curl your shoulders back. Think of the pose name, cobra, and the cobra's got that wide hood. So we're not looking up to the sky. You can hear my voice change. Try to keep the back of your neck long and wide. We're gonna exhale, we're gonna lower down. And you can do the push-up on your knees, or more challenging, tuck your toes and try to do a straight body push-up. Back to downward dog. Couple of breaths here. Remember, you can stay in puppy if you prefer. Think about pressing your hips back and your heart and head forward to lengthen your spine. And then walk, or maybe this time hop your feet to your hands. Come all the way standing tall, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart, eyes to close. We pause. Feel into the moment. Allow yourself to have a moment of clearing, centering, calming. Tapping into your inner resources. With your exhale, release your hands down. Breathe and reach your arms up. Exhale, waterfall down. This time we're going to plank. And you can be on your feet or your knees. And we're gonna do a slow lower and then maybe hover a few inches from the floor this time, chaturanga. Again, on your feet or your knees. Dip your knees, stretch your heart forward, curl your shoulders back. And then we'll transition this time from the knees without lowering the chest. Lift your hips up, arch your spine, and move from your hips. That'll help provide good low back health. Full deep breath. Walk or hop, feet to hands. Stand tall. Exhale, hands to heart, eyes to close. Good full deep breath.
Okay, this time we're gonna do a hop all the way to chaturanga for those of you that are ready for that. So if you're not, you'll walk back to plank and then slow lower. All right, with your exhale, release hands down. Breathe in, sweep them up. Exhale, waterfall down, spine is long and neutral. Bend your knees, plant your hands, and then remember, you're gonna squeeze your elbows in and back, and try to keep your shoulders up, and maybe hop all the way to chaturanga. Slide forward and up. Okay, so whenever your legs are on the ground, that's cobra, and then some people prefer upward dog. I don't. I like cobra better. I can get a better back stretch there, but you're free to lift your hips up, curl your shoulders back. Just make sure you're not bending too much in your lower back. And then tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, lead with your hips as you press back to downward dog. Good, full deep breaths there. It's nice to take about 3 to 5 breaths in these downward dogs. I have not done that today, because we're working pretty quick today, but when you have time, really let that stretch out. All right, we're coming to standing forward fold, walk or hop, feet to hands. Knees can always be bent here. If you're ready for them to be straight, stretch them more straight, but make sure you're keeping your spine long. Try not to let your back round. This can hurt your discs and lumbar spine, the nerves back there too. And then inhale, stand tall, arms reach up. Exhale, hands together in front of your heart, close your eyes. Take a pause, take a breath. All right, we're gonna add some asymmetrical standing poses into this vinyasa this time. If you feel like if you don't wanna do the flows, if you have enough planks and lowering, you can just hang out in the downward dog or puppy, and I'll talk you through that in that moment. All right, with your exhale, release your hands down. Breathe and reach up. This time we're gonna swan dive forward. Try to keep your spine as long as you can, or as long as you can. When it rounds, then bend your knees. And we're stepping back to downward dog. We're gonna start with the left leg. Inhale, stretch your left leg up and back behind you. Try to keep your hips square, so try not to turn your top leg too high to the sky for this one. We'll open the hips later. Step your left foot between your hands. Walk your back foot in about 2 inches and bend your back knee. Bring your hands to your hips and try to get your hips level, side to side, up and down, and front and back. And then reach your arms up overhead or out to the sides if you need more help balancing. And then your choice to keep your back knee bent or straight, just try not to let your hips turn open. This will stretch that muscle that gets really tight from sitting extended amounts of time. Good, full deep breath, maybe arcing back towards a variation of warrior one with your back heel lifted. And then we're gonna twist this on the way down. Bring your right hand to the ground and circle your left arm around. Good, deep breath here, open everything up, let yourself twist and stretch out across your shoulders. Step back, downward facing dog. So here's your choice. You can stay in downward dog, you can rest in puppy, or flow through the vinyasa, which is our plank, chaturanga, cobra or upward dog, back to downward dog. Deep breath. Same thing, right side. Inhale, right leg stretches up and back. Hips square if you can keep them. Step your right foot between your hands. Walk your back foot in a couple inches, bend your back knee. And inhale, come upright. Square off your hips. And then arms to sides or up overhead. And then your choice, keep that back knee bent or start to stretch it straight. But try not to let your hips shift. And if it feels good, curl back. Good deep heart breath there. Twist it out. Left hand to the floor, right arm circles up and around. Open up through your heart. Breathe full and deep. Good. Step back, downward facing dog. Your choice, down dog, child's, or vinyasa. Another breath or two.
And then walk or hop your feet to your hands. Bring your big toes together, squeeze your knees together, and then bend your knees deep. Inhale, come upright through your torso, bring your hands together in front of your heart, and have a sense of what's happening in your lumbar spine, your lower back. So some of us are gonna have a tendency to over tilt, some people are over tuck. Try to find what feels like neutral in the middle. Reach your arms up, find your breath. Good, inhale, stand tall, stretch your arms up. Release your hands, press out super wide. Big stretch across your chest and shoulders. Roll your shoulders back a couple of times. All right, little standing back bend. Take your feet slightly wider than hip distance apart and put your hands on the back of your pelvis. Now, our tendency is gonna be to push the hips forward. So hug your belly back and press your sitting bones and your tailbone down. Use your hands to remind yourself to push down, not forward. Lift your heart up and begin to curl your shoulders back a little bit. You should feel like you're gonna kind of fall back a little bit. You should feel that you have to work to keep the balls of your feet on the floor. Take a good deep breath here. Good, stand tall. It's fine if that was a little tiny back bend, still, you probably still felt it working. This time, either bring your hands to the back of your hips again, or if you can, clasp your hands behind your back. Keep your hips pressing back and sitting bones down. Lift your shoulders up and then curl them back too. And while you keep your belly back, try to squeeze your shoulder blades back and together. Then maybe stretch your arms more straight and maybe lift your arms up off your back. But if you start pushing your hips or your shoulders or your head forward, you're working too hard. See if you can come and just be a little more gentle with yourself. Take a good deep heart breath here. Good, and then with your exhale, squat, still with your hands clasped, and hinge forward. Let your heart, your head hang down. Work your shoulders back, and maybe pull them a little more towards the back of your skull. Shake out your head, neck. Good, full deep breath there. Good, release your hands, squat lower, stretch your arms up, chair pose with wide legs, and try to find a neutral core, not arching and not over tucking. Right in the middle, Goldilocks zone. Inhale, stand tall, swan dive forward, and step back to downward facing dog. Take your choice, down dog, puppy, child's, or vinyasa. We're gonna sweep the left leg up and back behind us. This time, do let your hips turn open and bend that top knee. Press the back of your skull back. Let yourself have a nice back bend here. Step your left foot forward to replace your left hand and then spiral up to warrior two. Bend your front knee nice and deep. And then your choice, hands to hips or clasp them behind your back. Curl your shoulders back, open your heart, stretch your arms, and from your hips, hinge and forward fold. Let your head hang down. Find your breath, strong in your legs, soft through your spine, open in heart and mind. Inhale, stand up tall, warrior two. Stretch your arms wide, lift up through your heart, and then arc it back. Right hand down your back leg, top arm to the sky. Full deep breath there. Lean forward for side angle pose. Elbow to thigh, your right arm alongside your ear. Stretch. And then you can stay here or circle to triangle. Stretching your front leg straight. So we haven't done a lot of hamstring prep, and this just might feel better for you, so that's fine. Find your breath. All right, good. Head back, down dog. Take your choice, down dog, puppy, child's, or vinyasa. Other side, sweep your right leg up and back, bend your knee. Let yourself come into a back bend. Take a good deep heart breath here. Step your right foot forward to replace the right hand and spiral up to warrior two. Find your breath. Hands to hips or clasp your hands behind your back. Curl your shoulders back, hug your belly back. And then exhale, hinge and fold. Your heart rests towards the earth. Inhale, come back upright, warrior two, strong warrior two, front knee bending nice and deep. Arc it back, warrior goddess. Side angle, right elbow to right thigh, left arm alongside your ear. Big stretch for the side body. And then your choice to stay here or to circle it around for triangle. And release, head back. Last round, down dog, child's, puppy, or vinyasa. We'll all meet each other in child's pose this time, big toes together, knees wide apart, stretch your arms. If this pose is challenging for you, you can cross your arms and just let your forehead rest to the floor. Find also stretch your arms and press your heart down. And just take a couple of nice, easy, deep breaths here. We're going to begin to finish up this mini practice. Normally this is just a warm-up for me, but it's a really nice way to squeeze some energizing and centering movement into your day. All right, everyone, so let's come sitting for a moment in butterfly position. The soles of your feet together, your hands behind you. It doesn't matter where your feet are, and it doesn't matter how high your knees are. With your hands behind you, curl your shoulders back, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Just imagine that you're lifting your heart to heaven. Let your chin lift a little bit and stretch the back of your neck. And then you can stay here, or if you prefer, you can fold forward. Let your head relax down. Inhale, come upright and just cross one leg over the other, whichever feels better, and just move your head, neck, however feels best for you. Give your shoulders a little roll. Give yourself a big cross-armed hug. Try to grab a hold of your shoulder blades and then tuck your head in. Just give yourself a good snuggle. Life is hard these days. Acknowledging your hard work. Inhale, open up, big stretch, big reach, and then cross, other arm on top. Good to hug and snuggle in. And then inhale, reach up nice and tall. And then exhale, hinge and forward fold. Your head relax down. Good, full, deep breaths. And we'll just take a short relaxation, so you can do that sitting or reclined. Just make sure that you feel nice and comfortable. Connect into your breath and feel into your body. See if you can have the sense of your inhalation creating just a little more inner spaciousness for yourself. And then when you exhale, that you feel a sense of just sinking in to the moment, wherever you are. Inhaling, feeling that gentle expansion. And exhaling, feeling that sense of release. Sometimes it helps to imagine that your breath has something that you can visualize. So a color, or maybe you can just simply imagine light, texture. For me, I just like to imagine a very soft golden light. Breathing in and letting your body fill up with that light from the inside out. And with your exhalation, letting your outer body soften onto your light body. So you really acknowledge your energy body, which is made up of your energy, your atoms and cells, and also of your thoughts and feelings. With your exhale, letting your skin, letting any of your
hard shells that you've been wearing in this challenging time just to soften a bit. You can put them back on after practice. If you'd like to bring your hands just right over your heart and feel into that energy of your heart center. Imagine this as a seat of your inner resources, courage and creativity, compassion. Let that heart energy shine out, refreshing and renewing you for your day. With your inhale, stretch a little bigger. Reach your arms up and out. If you're laying down, stretch your legs out. Give your wrists a good roll, fingers, toes a good wiggle. If you've chosen to lie down, come on up to sitting. It's been nice to be with you today. Hope that you have a good day. Namaste.